This meeting today very much feels intergalactic is the word. This topic of discussion that I'm being called to share today is a lot to do with this shared field that us humans are able to draw information from. We're going to be talking a little bit about the morphic genetic field and actually reading it. I want to mainly do this, and if you don't know what the morphic genetic field is, it's this invisible blueprint that interconnects us with information. It's essentially holographic DNA that stores the memory of every organism in existence between the seen realms, the unseen realms. It's the memory of the universe experiencing itself as everything, and it's the instruction manual of how the universe translates itself into form, right? How the non-physical manifests into the physical material plane. Now, within this field, I'm seeing it as different nodal access points, and this being its own communication hub. So welcome to the nucleus of a family if you're new. If you're not, this is just, it's going to be another meeting. And what I'm being called to share today is the collective field of experiences that you're picking up on in your own subjective experience. And all subjectives make up the whole objective, right? But the main topic of discussion is energetic hygiene right now. This is what Spirit wants me to really, really bring through, because if we don't have any energetic hygiene, we're not going to be able to discern what is ours and what is not. And you're a highly sensitive being, and you have this field literacy. There is this field, you can think about it as field etiquette, where there is certain table mannerisms, social energy that you're going to be picking up on around what is proper to do and how to navigate this in the most elegant way as possible. If I think about table etiquette, I think about elegancy that is learned. It's something that is trained. It's a level of discipline and mastery that we're able to move through these collective fields with, really being able to discern what is yours and what is not. It's to the point where if a thought enters your mind, we are able to observe that thought as the awareness behind it and say, that's interesting. And so part of this shared field in which your human mind is able to draw from are different archetypal expressions, is different themes that we're experiencing within this cosmic overlay, this matrix, this universe that we're immersed in. And these are things that we're able to pull information from, right? We even have the divine matrix here at the base from what I was shuffling earlier. So it talks about God instances, but this interconnected database that stores the living memory of all organisms. Anyway, from this collective mind, we can have thoughts that can leak into our field, or even dreams or visions that we can tune into as we go into altered states of consciousness or non-ordinary states of consciousness. And the brain is not just a generator of consciousness, but instead it becomes this filter of consciousness. And there is this natural filtration system that you have within you, and it's called neutral observation, neutral awareness, a natural form of unconditional love, right? It's to understand that you can unconditionally accept everything that enters into your field, but then your wisdom allows you to understand if you cling on to it or if you allow it to pass through like the weather. The thing is, when we have leaks in our own aura, which is this 360-degree multi-dimensional bubble around you, I've done so many transcendent teachings on this. You can take a look at it in the playlist as well if you're new, but these are collective experiences that can leak into our own subjective. It's where we're picking up on what's happening in the collective fields, but we're confusing it with our own. So I'm just seeing it as field literacy. I keep hearing etiquette in the way that there is an elegance in how you can navigate these onset of changes in the world around you with this grace. And I'm just seeing as poised type of energy, where you are poised, you are grounded, you are anchored. Nothing can uproot you in the system. And it's going to be something that's super important to have, because if our emotional state is dependent upon the external world around what someone does or what they do not do, then our center is not even inside of our body. Our center is outside of our body. internal emotional regulation is going to be gold. It's the forgotten language. And this message is really about you transversing or traveling into the forgotten realms and returning with this forbidden knowledge and then applying that to your everyday life experience. Sometimes when you enter into a room, you are picking up on the energy in the field, the more subtle realms, the things that are unsaid, the things that are not done, right? Not the things that are said, but the things that go unsaid. Not the things that people do, but the things that they don't do. It's very mercurial in Cancer. It kind of reminds you of that, where it's somebody that is able to pick up on the more subtle, non-verbal cues. And there's something around 90% of communication being body language, being nonverbal. And I'm seeing that in collective spaces or collective fields, what's happening behind the curtain, what's happening, something like that. Anyway, we're gonna see what this is. Let's see what this is. It's just mainly an advice reading. It feels like a discretion reading or disclaimer, right? We have Seraphim's Gateway, divine support. So this is divine support that you have, angelic attunement and divine, what does that say? Support, yeah. Okay. How I'm seeing this is plasma beings. You're also a plasma being. So they're part of a counterpart Earth, right? So you're in this world, but you're experiencing a completely different dimensional layer of this reality. And you're able to communicate with other plasma beings, whether they're aware of this or not, when it comes to their etheric nature, and remind them of their plasma-like state. So I'm seeing it as a wisdom being imparted or shared, which then becomes a form of enlightenment, where you're being called to embody a different expression of what it is to be relaxed in your body, feel safe in your body, feel secure in your body, to trust yourself as you move through this existence, and not allow the disruptions of the external world to bring you out of harmonic order. And if it does, how quickly can we exercise this spiritual stamina to bring ourselves back to our center, to return back to this inner still sanctuary within you, and see the cosmos in what appears to be chaotic, to see the secret order in something that appears to be disorderly in the world around us. And that is going to be your internal regulation. That's going to be your goal during this time. Gold is something that's extremely conducive. I'm seeing that for you. Okay, I have low battery right now, so we're gonna breeze through this. But I'm seeing this as you being a Seraphim gateway, right? This is a message for an archangel type of energy. When I say this, archangels are just beings that are able to integrate these higher embodied ways of being, right? You're able to integrate the more refined traits of your character. Again, there's a level of elegance, there's a level of grace that they have, there's a level of awareness that they have as they move through the system, as they're able to move through the system, always remembering that they are connected to everything and everything is connected to them. And that allows them to be the integrated high expression of them. What is the highest way to move through this? That's what I'm seeing. Bioplasma beings, part of a counterpart Earth, you're in this world, but you're experiencing a different level of it. The thing is, when we speak about new Earth, old Earth, these are states of consciousness or awareness. They are not locations. Okay, so it's not a fixed external location. And the split that we speak about, when we speak about this new Earth split, you're very much still part of the new Earth. It's not that there's going to be like different Earth timelines where it just, you're going to be experiencing the same planet, but by a complete different set of physical laws. You're going to be in the world, but experience it through the lens of the heart space, through the lens of interconnectedness, instead of operating in fear, scarcity, or lack. That's what the difference is. Now, that's still part of the same Earth, but it's a counterpart Earth. And the part of the whole role of plasma-like beings, or the Seraphims, right? These are wings of multidimensional memory that they cultivate. We'll speak about it on a deeper topic one day, but it's so important because they are here to remind others that they too can remember themselves as formless before returning back to the light. It's to be in the system, but remember yourself for what it is that you are. It's the desire to remember oneself. So I'm just seeing that for you, the best way that you're going to lead is by example of what it looks like to be deeply connected to yourself, and that is part of what the new earth is. And that's why the people that are wanting the new earth the most, like, I'm going to be part of this new earth and you're not, right? When it comes to that ego distortion and separation, are the very ones blocking it, because they're waiting for the world to change before they change. This is about you becoming the change that you want to see, embodying that example. You cannot ask for something that you are already not, right? Otherwise, you're vibrating in the absence of that thing and not the resonance of it. That's what Seraphim is. Seraphim is, this is about not just speaking about unity while feeding the division, or speaking about liberation while remaining in this emotionally enslaved kind of way of being to systems that you claim to transcend. The new earth is not just an event that arrives one day from the outside world, but it literally begins with you. It begins in how you treat people. It begins in how you see this existence and see yourself as you move through this existence. And that's what it feels like we're all being called to remain anchored in, right? Remain centered in. It's the way that you move through conflict with such grace and poise. And that is going to be the etiquette that is coming through. It's knowing that you are not separate from the earth. You are an extension of it. You are a product of creation itself. So how do you see the value in the creation in which you are, and the product of your life being the journey of your choices, and being able to make more conducive choices, so aligned choices moving forth? It's not about what has brought you to this moment, because who you've had to be in order to get here is no longer whom you have to be moving forward. The new earth emerges the moment that you remember that you are it. It's a new earth inside of yourself. It's the one organism that is experiencing itself over and over again. You are not separate from it. You are literally this interconnected reality. And it's not a mean to spiritually bypass it, or, not apply discernment and pretending that darkness doesn't exist. But instead, it means that you're no longer becoming the very frequency that you claim to be against. You are able to own and unconditionally accept both shadow and light in this system, understanding that as individual expressions of consciousness itself, what it is that we judge, we give power to, and we'll continue to attract the things that we judge until we no longer judge the things in which we've attracted into our experience. And that level of neutrality, whether you're in the presence of, an unintegrated shadow within yourself or a light, allows you to step into the most powerful thing that you can right now, which is the Seraphim's energy. It's to fly and move through the system with a level of fluidity. It's to be detached and unfazed by the things that are happening in the world around us. And that is harmony. That is moving through the system with wings of multidimensional memory. That is the architecture of the Seraphim's gateway, and that is the divine support. It's how you can lead by example. You begin to embody the very reality that you wish existed, and it starts with you. So I just sense this being a message of, keep doing what it is that you're doing. Don't fall back or deeper into unconscious patterns where you're mirroring the wounds of those around you, but mirror what that example is, to be a product of creation that's deeply connected with itself as it moves through the system, and is deeply connected to everything that it chooses to create as an extension of itself. That's what you're being called to do. So that's what it feels like is the message for the communication hub today. That's how the field changes. That's how the new earth changes. It always begins with you. It's to be grounded, it's to be conscious, it's to be safe. So it's a message to just keep doing what it is that you're doing, especially because we're going to be experiencing a lot of shifts that will be happening in the cosmos that are going to bleed into our timeline on Earth, and now is more important than ever to remember that. Okay, so I'm gonna love and leave you right there. I have 2%. Oh my god, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details are also down below. Also check out Autistic if you're looking for some high quality AAE graded gemstones, and until next time, bye.